19 drivers in the field. As they come out of turn number 19, let's bring up Nicholas Giafoni. All he needs to do is take the green to win the championship for D-Force Racing. It'll be back-to-back championships in USF Juniors for D-Force Racing. But the driver on the front row right now looking for race win number 4 on the season out of San Antonio, Texas. Another Lone Star State driver, Jack Jeffers for Exclusive Autosport in the Corpay number 92. We'll roll him up here to the start-finish line. Start-finish, she finishes a little further back, start a little further forward. Driver's looking good. 18 strong. Time to go racing, and we are green, green, green. And a good start here for Jeffers. And you guarantee that Giafoni's going to want a clean run here, although by taking the green, we now have ourselves a new champion. Giafoni, the champion of USF Juniors by taking the green flag. Drivers working their way now through turn number 1. A little bit of chaos further back. You can see Giafoni trying to hold the spot. A couple of VRD drivers there. That's Max Taylor in the 33 on the inside. Here comes Lockhart to the outside as well. Lockhart almost gets together with Taylor. In fact, contact is going to move him back and allow Quinn Armstrong to get a spot. So contact between the two VRD drivers, Lockhart and Taylor, will push him back a little bit. Opening set of corners clean so far. And again, as I said, we have a champion now crowned. Nicholas Giafoni finishing second place yesterday. All he needs is the points that he will get from finishing, even if he's stopped now, finishing 18th, the 3 points he will get would be enough to make him insurmountable in terms of points away from Jack Jeffers. There's a move to the inside again. Lockhart deep to the inside of Giafoni, coming through turn number 11, leading onto the long back straightaway. Yellow flag on the side of the track. We have a full course yellow. We went green, but a driver did not make it back around. I think that may be Joey Brienza potentially. No, I'm waiting. No, pardon me, not Joey Brienza. Looking at my live timing. It had not updated yet. Yeah, my live timing's not updating for some reason. One of the drivers off the racetrack, I'm not quite sure who that is at that point. We'll try to figure out who it is. But somebody slowed on track. I'm seeing full course yellow. So indeed, my live timing here not working. So we'll see what we can do to get that updated so I can exactly see what's going on here. Could be Bianca Bustamante potentially with an issue. That'll be mechanical, something on the back part of the racetrack on the back straightaway. And that would have been on the opening lap. Obviously, we were just rolling around, so something on the pace lap, rather. Pace lap has sent her back. So an issue there for Bianca Bustamante. Tough for the young lady out of the Philippines who has starred in the F1 Academy Series and was a part of our action here last year. Ideally, should be able to get that thing refired, but at this point, an issue for Bustamante brings them to a crawl. So this will be lap number 1 going in the books. We did get started, so we are underway. Getting some word that potentially a couple of cars may have made contact coming out of pit lane as they were pulling out of pit lane. And that potentially could have been the damage that eventually put Bianca Bustamante on the sidelines. So you hate to see that. But again, this is, you know, a development program, and that can happen certainly with some drivers who have issues. Someone maybe gets released too early. Someone gets on the throttle earlier than somebody else. You check up a bit, whatever it may be. But some kind of damage to Bianca Bustamante has put her off the racetrack. Drivers left, heading out of turn 11 to turn number 12. Let's see if we can see what's going on with live timing, because I do not how to have that working here right now for me. I'll try to potentially go to another page for us to see if we can't get live timing working. Needless to say, Jack Jeffers got a good start coming out of the gate. So indeed, something wrong with live timing right now. I'll see if I can't fix that up a little bit here. There we go, picking up the USAC live timing scoreboard. Jeffers, Giafoni, Lockhart, Taylor, Armstrong, top 5. Brienza 6th, Barker 7th, Schwartz 8th, Eric Schouten and Hudson Potter 9th and 10th, Lucas Facuri in 11th, Carson Eder in 12th, Brady Golan 13th, Giovanni Cabrera, Aiden Potter 14th and 15th. Drivers who have not come around, so more contact than just Bianca Bustamante, because I don't believe Connor Roberts or Dane Scott were able to get back here either. At least that's what I'm seeing on my live timing. So 15 drivers have come across the line to put it in here. So 3 drivers making their debut weekends, not getting laps logged here in race number 2, and that is a shame because the whole key of this program is to give these drivers as much laps as possible. Not sure what happened to those drivers heading out onto the racetrack. But Jack Jeffers will take it right now. That means he'll be the driver to lead on the restart once we eventually get going. Not sure what happened to Connor Roberts or Dane Scott. Again, those drivers were scheduled to start alongside each other on row number 7. So not exactly sure what happened there. Drone coverage following the drivers as they work their way through that turn 16, 17, 18 combination. Again, coming in here, Nicholas Giaffoni, 64-point lead to start this race. Had he been able to get the 66 points, would have locked the championship down in race number 1, but not quite. Jack Jeffers, of course, looking for another win here. He's trying to stretch away from Quinn Armstrong to finish P2 in the championship. They're bringing these drivers right down pit lane for some reason. Not exactly sure why we're driving them down pit lane on this particular lap. Lots going on right now. Oh, so okay. So being told right now from race control, we're going red because we had drivers that passed under a yellow during the yellow flag, so they need to reorder the field. So some drivers having a bit of trouble holding their spots here on a yellow. So we'll get this field reorder. We are on a red flag, and that gives me the opportunity to remind everybody that it's a 12-lap race with a 40-lap window. So there is a lot of time in the window to get things dialed in. We'll get these drivers in the positions they need to be in. All the racers in the USF Pro Championships racing for over $1.6 million in prize money and awards this year. $241,890, the scholarship for the champion in USF Juniors to move up to USF 2000. And speaking of USF Juniors, we're going to see a number of drivers coming from the Skip Barber Racing School Formula Car Series. The Skip Barber School offering up a $100,000 scholarship for their series champion to come to USF Juniors. There's a lot of races still to go. Sebastian Weldon's in the hunt, Jackson Bell, Joshua Lionel, Caleb Gaffera, Gabe Tesh, a number of drivers in the championship battle there for the Skip Barber Racing School, the official school of the USF Pro Championships. That, if you don't know about that program, 8 weekends, 16 races, some of the most iconic tracks you'll see in America. Obviously, high visibility, pro race atmosphere. The car itself, the Skip Barber car, is a McGall F4 car, 160 turbo horsepower, paddle shift 6-speed transmission, Goodyear Eagle Racing slicks. The whole program is kind of run for you. You don't need to have your own team, which is great. Professional crew, expert instruction, video, data analysis, hospitality. If you're looking forward to getting into the sport and trying to get into this USF Juniors and USF Pro Championships ladder program, we most definitely suggest you start with the Skip Barber School. First, a 3-day, do a couple of lapping days, get yourself into their Formula Car Series. You can learn more there at skipbarber.com. Mentioned being here in Texas as well, and one of the partners we have actually very close. They're actually located just down the road, about an hour and 20 minutes away in San Antonio. That's VP Racing Fuels. They are the official fuel supplier for all 3 levels of the USF Pro Championships. In 2021, VP Racing Fuels expanded their role and became the official lubricant and coolant as well. In addition to the VP Racing engine oil and VP Racing gear oil, this includes VP Racing's new line of Stay Frosty Performance engine coolants. Had a good visit there from Bruce Hendel from VP Racing Fuels yesterday, coming to say hello to everybody here trackside. We also had a huge group this weekend as part of the Discount Tire STEM program. It's one of the things we do at all the events throughout the year. We had students from UTI Austin come out and join us. We did a car tour, had a chance to talk to our technical director and learn a lot about the technical side of the series itself. Met a bunch of drivers as well from Turn 3. Met some drivers as well from Exclusive Auto Sports. So it was great to have the crew from UTI Austin here, all part of the Discount Tire STEM program. And we were pleased to add Discount Tire as our partner here this year. They're the official tire retailer of the USF Pro Championships presented by Cooper Tires. At Discount Tire, we know your time is valuable. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online. Visit discounttire.com today to schedule your appointment. 3.41 miles, the distance around this racetrack, and a challenging one for sure. 20 corners. Of course, F1 will be here in mid-October to put on the show here for the American F1 fans. But this track, again, so exciting for these drivers to get a chance to be on the same track as Formula One. And it's a very challenging circuit, as we know. A lot of different aspects. The big run up into turn number 1, the rhythm section through 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down through 10 into turn number 11. That long straightaway, hard braking into turn 12. A couple of those double apex corners, 13, 14. 16 through to 18. There are some very challenging corners for the drivers here to kind of master. And being so long, it takes a while. So many of these drivers have jumped onto iRacing and have put in countless hours learning the racetrack on iRacing. And then when they get here, the initial open session, the open test session, is all about connecting what you learned on iRacing, all the stuff that you put in your head on how this track rolls, how it flows, and then connecting it to the real world, how the car feels, especially with the temperatures as high as they've been, but just the feel for the car itself, the roll, and it's always crucial for the drivers who learn as much as they can on a simulator to take the time in the opening test session to connect what they learned on the simulator to real life racing. It's significantly different, but once you've made the connection, especially just learning the track itself, is key. So again, getting the drivers into position here. An issue on the opening lap, potentially drivers on the yellow passing each other. We had contact on pit lane. We had a driver with an issue out on the racetrack on the out lap. Bianca Bustamante, Dane Scott, and Connor Roberts. Not sure whether or not they'll be able to repair the car of Roberts or Scott enough to get them back out onto the racetrack, but that would leave us with 15 drivers. Jack Jeffers as the leader, Nicholas Giaffoni, Jimmy Lockhart, Max Taylor, and Quinn Armstrong, top 5. Little contact between Lockhart and Taylor on the opening circuit, heading in through the S's of 3, 4, 5. That allowed Lockhart to grab that spot. Behind Armstrong was Joey Brienza. Brienza started 8th. He goes up a couple of spots into 6th. Ethan Barker, 7th. Hudson Schwartz in 8th. Eric Schouten in 9th. Hudson Potter. Potter from 17th up into 10th. So he was able to leverage all the chaos that happened in front of him. Potter moving his way up into the 10th spot. Lucas Facuri in 11th position. He started 7th, so a drop of 4 for Lucas. Not a great opening circuit there. Carson Etter in 12th. Brady Golan, the Austin, Texas resident, the local driver here to COTA, in the 13th spot. Giovanni Cabrera, 14th, and Aiden Potter rounded up the lineup of 15 drivers that remain after the contact we had early on. So again, I believe we're just reordering the cars at this point. Not sure why we haven't got them back on track, but we hope to see that happen soon. Big shout out to Cooper Tires. They are proud to be the presenting sponsor of all 3 levels of the USF Pro Championships. Make sure to check out Cooper's all-new Discoverer Rugged Trek, the ultimate suburban cruiser. It's an all-season tire featuring an aggressive tread design that delivers excellent traction and comfort on concrete. For more information, visit coopertire.com. Follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Team Cooper Tire. There we go. Cars finally rolling. If you're picking up the action here, your trackside, maybe you haven't, or you're just watching one of the broadcasts here on YouTube, take the opportunity to download our USF Pro Championships app. You can follow all of our action. You can download the free USF Pro Championships app at the Apple Store for iPhone and Google Play for Android mobile phones and tablets. It's got live timing, all the live streaming broadcasts. We've got, of course, The Climb, our documentary, are very similar to the Drive to Survive that Formula One does. A tremendous documentary that lets you get a little more up close and personal with a bunch of the drivers here on the USF Pro Championships. My USF Pro Insider podcast is available on that as well. Really a one-stop shop for everything you want to know about the USF Pro Championships. And the bottom line is, wherever you are around the country, around the world, you have that app, you're going to be able to follow all the action that we have here throughout the remainder of 2023, which is only one more weekend. We're going to cap this thing off, of course, at Portland next weekend. After that, all sights on 2024, beginning with the Fall Combine, the official series test where so many drivers get a chance to test out different teams, get themselves known, put their name on the map. That, of course, takes place on the road course of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I believe the date this year, October the 21st and 22nd. I'll confirm myself on that. But indeed, the Fall Combine has been annually just a really fun weekend because so many drivers get out to kind of test the waters. They try potentially with different teams. Yeah, October 21st and 22nd. at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All 3 series will be there, Juniors 2000 and Pro 2000. So if you're looking to potentially join this program, it's a great opportunity. Number one, you can test with a couple of different teams, get a feel for what the culture is like with the team, get a chance, number one, to race and drive on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Testing each day, so it is a full official series test. We look forward to having everybody there and seeing drivers from around the world come in and sample the machinery. Once again, back rolling. Jack Jeffers will lead Nicholas Giafoni, your newly crowned champion in the series. I'm sure a little smile on the face of Giafoni right now. There was, I think, a little stress coming off yesterday when he was able to get a third-place finish and realize all he needed to do was start. That P3 was so crucial to only having to cross the start-finish line to go green to be able to win this championship. And, again, the scholarship worth over $241,000. We'll see Nicholas Giafoni in USF 2000 next year. It'll be fun to watch him get at it in the next level of the USF Pro Championships. Still one more race to come today. Green flag set to go for 3:55 this afternoon Central Time. Another little historic moment, 2 historic moments to be honest, in our USF Pro 2000 race earlier today. We ended up with Nikita Johnson getting the victory, the youngest driver ever to win a USF Pro 2000 level race at 15 years of age, but also the first driver ever to win in USF Juniors, USF 2000, and Pro 2000. Of course, the brand new series starting last year, USF Juniors, was going to take a little time before we had one of those drivers come up to win in Pro. They definitely got the job done already. Some drivers having some trouble further back. They're going to dive out, as you said. You need to calm down. Guys, don't need to be on the throttle yet. Only guy that needs to think about the throttle is the guy up front. That's Jack Jefferson. He's rolled onto it. We're going racing again. Back at it. Lap 2 in the books with that red flag. Racing back up the hill, Jack Jefferson, the Corpay exclusive Autosport, number 92. He'll dive back down to the inside. Jeffers right there, Jeffers there. Oh, there's Lockhart trying to make a move to the inside of Giafoni. They'll be side by side coming down the hill. Giafoni on the inside. And on the outside is Lockhart. He's going to try to force the issue coming into the corner. Giafoni on the inside as well. He's going to give it up a bit. So Lockhart goes into second. Giafoni back to third. Armstrong fourth. One driver cut it a little bit there. Maybe got forced off to driver's left. I mentioned coming into this weekend that everybody with kind of a different mindset in terms of what they wanted to accomplish. Giafoni, of course, needed only a certain amount of points. So he's coming in hunting for points, whether it be all of them coming in race 1 or he can separate them all through 3 races to win this championship. A way different approach to the weekend for him. Different, of course, for Jack Jeffers, right? He's trying to make a statement. He's trying to lock on to second place. He was trying to outgun Quinn Armstrong for P2, trying to lock in second and do the best he can. He told me after the race, he was trying to dominate the weekend. I want people to know who Jack Jeffers is. I want them to know that I'm ready to get at it. I'm a driver to be reckoned with. For a driver like Jimmy Lockhart and others like him who have not yet won on the season, the idea is I want to win. I'm here to win races. That's it. I don't care what happens. I'm here to win. And another driver coming through here as well is trying to get the job done. That's Joey Brienza. Scored a win in the start of the season at Sebring. Had a great weekend there. Was on the podium all 3 races, 2 second-place finishes, and 1 in the 3rd race. He needs to get back at it. He's had an up and down year for sure for Brienza. You look at some of these results, top 4s, top 6s, another podium at VIR, and then he has a 13th at Mid-Ohio, then a 3rd at Road America, then a couple of 9th place finishes. Yesterday, the DNF after the issue finished last and 18th. So Brienza's shown so much speed, but there's been bad luck here and there and some little mistakes here and there as well. So it'll be good for him to be able to come back here and rock one up. And he is on the move right now, trying to reel in, I believe, Giafoni. Indeed, yeah, he is up into the 4th spot now. I think Brienza on the move. Brienza goes to P4. His lap time is 16.4, about 4/10 quicker than Giafoni. So watch for him to try to reel him in. Lockhart going on the defensive now, trying to see if he can't hold off Giafoni, and that is 100% going to give Jack Jefferson a chance to run some wide racing lines. Outside the top 5, you can see that battle back there as well. Ethan Barker, Hudson Schwartz, Eric Schouten in there. Good scrap outside the top 5. This is Giafoni trying to go back on Lockhart, who has gone on the defensive, and that has allowed Jeffers a little bit more breathing room. Tail that top 5 right there is Quinn Armstrong trying to bounce back again. Quinn trying to see if he can, make sure he locks in P3 because right now he's got a pretty good gap over Joey Brienza. It's significant right now. It is 33 points between Armstrong and Brienza. Depending on how they finish here, Brienza may not be able to get the third. Remember, only 33 points still up for grabs in total for race number 3 this afternoon. So if you have a 34-point lead on someone, they are not going to get you wherever your position is. So you're locking yourself down there by having a 34-point plus lead. Driver behind you would have to sweep the day or sweep that race. Pole, fast lap, most laps led, the 3 bonus points plus the 30 that go to a race win. Look at this scrap going back on it here. This is good stuff. Around the outside, that is Giafoni battling it out here with Lockhart. Lockhart not trying to give him any room. They're banging wheels side by side. Giafoni goes back to second. Lockhart will cross over. I'm talking to 2 drivers with way different thoughts on this race. Giafoni's trying to bring it home. He'd like to be on the podium. Celebrate the championship on the podium, right? That's if you can win number 1, be on the podium number 2. Lockhart says, I need to win. I need to win a race this year. And he's been strong, Lockhart has. He's P4. He's in a fight with Joey Brienza for 4th place, no doubt about it. 3 podiums for Lockhart on the season, but there's that elusive win that he's not been able to nab yet. Brienza now closing right up here on Armstrong. Armstrong got back by him. So Armstrong back by. So Brienza back to 5th, Armstrong up to 4th. And they're on top of each other. Armstrong going to go to the inside. Brienza to the outside up into turn number 1. Let's pick up this pass. Can he roll the outside? No, but he doesn't finish the over-under. It's hard to do because there's so much runoff there for the driver who holds the inside line to push wide. Brienza right there on the gearbox, thinking about the inside. Exclusive Autosport UBS machine has been good. Strong run here for Brienza. Top 5 drivers have stretched out a little bit. They've got about a 3.8-second lead when they came across the stripe. So the front-running 5 drivers have got some room, which is good. Good to see Connor Roberts back out onto the racetrack as well. The driver, the number 46, able to get back out on track. If we get a side shot of that car, apexspeed.com on the side of that. We'll see it maybe sometime throughout the broadcast if they can pick up the 46. If anybody is in open wheel Formula car racing, and of course not here really on the professional levels, but whether it be Formula 500, Formula 600, Formula V, Ford, Formula Continental, Atlantic, whatever it may be, apexspeed.com has been the hub, an online forum that has really been the hub for those drivers for many, many years. Look at this scrap further back. We are going at it. That's a couple of the D-Force drivers going at it. Oh, there we go. A big lock up there. Wow, side by side. Those are the drivers further back. I believe that's Lucas Facuri, Brady Golan, and Eric Schouten going at it. That is 8th, 9th, and 10th. And Schouten getting shuffled back a bit there as the D-Force drivers thought about making it 3 wide in that corner. Schouten, I think, wise to kind of check up ahead of it a little bit. Carson Eder right behind him, and then Hudson Potter behind Eder. Wow. Definitely going at it right now. Coming through 16, 17, 18. Again, those are the drivers running now 8th, 9th, and 10th. Letting it all hang out. I like it. There's that battle coming out of turn number 20. Everybody rolling up to the top of the hill. Here's that battle we talked about. Boob, move to the inside once again. Golan trying to go to the inside of Facuri. Eric Schouten looking to capitalize on it. These drivers actually are also 8th, 9th, and 10th, or pardon me, yeah, 8th, 9th, 8th and 9th, because Golan and Schouten are tied for 9th. These are the drivers tied for 8th and 9th in the championship and racing for 8th and 9th on track. And the driver's gone off. Where did the driver go off there? Maybe a flat left rear. Looked like one of the Jay Howard cars to me. Might have been either a Hudson Potter or Aiden Potter. I'm not sure which one, so let's not jump to the gun yet. But one driver got off there, we saw. Good pickup by the USF Pro TV camera crew. We'll know when they come back around. Dane Scott and Bianca Bustamante not able to get restarted or repaired, so those teams will go at it. Remember, they're back on the racetrack again. 3:55 green flag. They don't need to get to the false grid until about 3:25, so they got 4 hours to fix whatever is potentially wrong with these cars. USF Pro teams have kind of packed up their trailers already. A couple of them have already hit the road because it's a 2,000-mile run from here to Portland. They're leaving now to try to get to Portland for load-in because we are racing Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Grand Prix of Portland to cap off our season in USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. Don't think I've taken the opportunity yet to say hello to everybody that are tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Shout out to the crew handling the broadcast and the chat room as well. Look at this. This is Schouten continuing to work on Golan. This is this great battle here for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Carson Edder's right there as well. Just a quick little, message on track limits. Those of you may have watched the USF Pro race. The track limits on this race, like you can see, yes, drivers are all over the place. They are jumping way outside the racing surface. For our abilities here in the series, hold on, let's hold on for this because we got a battle here right now. This is for the lead. This is Giafoni, who has closed back up on the 92 of Jack Jeffers. Giafoni right there again. So the battle for the lead right back up on it, and Lockhart's closing up as well. I'll get back to track limits, which of there are none, just so you guys know. Only turn 19 is the only place we've got track limits right now. We just don't have the manpower or the camera capabilities like Formula One does to literally look at every part of the racetrack, whether it be through timing stripes or whatever it may be. We can't follow everybody dropping a wheel wherever it may be. So the only place we're really focusing on for track limits is turn number 19. Otherwise, free reign for the drivers to use all of the racetrack here, all of the off track. And although it just makes it a different racetrack, no big deal. They're using every possible piece of asphalt they can. Lead's starting to kind of dial things up a bit here. I don't know that Jeffers is backing it up, a 2:15.5 last time by. Yeah, no, indeed. He's about 9/10 of a second off his fast lap on that last time by. Whether or not it was just going on the defensive as he is right now, driving down the bottom of the racetrack, he's not been able to check out on Giafoni. He's trying to win this race and kind of clinch that championship in style. He'll go to the outside at turn number 12. Not sure he's going to be far enough in. He's got it good enough, but it'll be a deep braking move potentially for Jeffers. No, coming around the corner. And it looks like Giafoni is making it happen. Book it. He's gone to P1. Giafoni back to the lead. Here comes Lockhart to the inside. Oh, no, there's a bit of a contact there. Jeffers pushes. He gets into the side of Giafoni, who goes around. So contact between P1 and P2 coming through turn number 13. Giafoni will get it righted and back at it once again. Giafoni pushing after just taking the lead from Jack Jeffers. Lockhart was right there. I think Lockhart's going to take the lead after that contact. So Jimmy Lockhart, the driver looking for that first win, I believe, is going to come out on the other side with P1. But he's going to be lined up with a couple drivers behind him. Joey Brienza and Quinn Armstrong still there. So the battle not done yet for second and third in the championship. And we're just past the halfway point. This is lap 7 now. 5 to go. 5 laps remaining. Lockhart now thinking about that first win. Brienza looking at potentially able to get back on top of the box as well. Quinn Armstrong. Again, he's trying to see if he can't get himself back up to second in points with that issue for Jeffers. How far back has Jeffers gone? We'll see when he comes across the line. Jack Jeffers ends up 6th across the line. Giafoni back into 11th. So again, Giafoni already locking the championship. It's done and dusted. He is the new champion of the 2023 USF Juniors program. Looking for that race win. Went around the outside in turn number 12. Jeffers back up the inside in turn 13. Contact at the apex. And that allowed Lockhart, Brienza, and Armstrong to come through. It also brought up Hudson Schwartz into 4th and Ethan Barker up into 5th. But will this be the day for Jimmy Lockhart, the VRD driver, trying to get that first win that has eluded him? Again, there's been good runs for Jimmy Lockhart, for sure. A 3rd at Sebring, a 3rd at Barber, a 4th at VIR, a 4th at Mid-Ohio, a 3rd at Road America, 4th yesterday. The consistency is the only thing he's lacked. He's been in the top 5 or on the podium in at every venue this year. There's not been one where he's been outside at least one time outside the top 5. And again, like I said, 3 of those being podium finishes. So Lockhart's shown the speed in all the races, just lacks a little bit of consistency and maybe a little bit of luck here today. The contact between first and second potentially allowing him to work his way back. Here's a replay there of the contact coming through the corner as Jeffers got himself in there. Let's have a look at that again. So Jeffers gets the run. Thinking about Lockhart, probably looking at his mirrors. Lockhart's coming, probably getting down to defend on Lockhart. Gets into the corner, locks up the right front. And essentially that right front tire tucking in, or the left front tucking in behind the right rear of Giafoni. And around he went. I know that we have a huge contingent of Brazilians watching the broadcast here right now. The only thing I know in Portuguese is bom dia. And I think that's hello or good morning or good day. So hopefully that's all I know right now. I know that we have so many great Brazilian drivers here and those that are watching online. So, hey, I hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast here now. Lockhart leading the way. Will this be the first victory? Pulling away a little bit here right now for Joey Brienza, trying to come back into second. Quinn Armstrong third. Fourth, Barker. Fifth, or the fourth is Schwartz. Fifth, Barker. Sixth spot is Fakuri. Seventh, Golan. Eighth, Eder. Ninth, Schouten. And 10th is Giafoni, as he was able to get back by Aiden Potter. Jack Jeffers down into 14th. I wonder whether or not they gave him a drive-through. I'm not quite sure. Either if there's damage or potentially a drive-through for Jack Jeffers. Jeffers potentially into pit lane. Not sure whether or not there's damage to the car for that contact. And indeed, maybe Jeffers heading all the way back to the trailer. That's an issue here. We'll try to find out. Lockhart and Brienza separated now by a half a second. Will we see Joey Brienza get back on top of the box? He's got to go all the way back to race number 3 at Sebring. Potential damage for the car of Jack Jeffers. I think being told he may have driven it all the way back to the trailer. Not good for him for sure. Now the only benefit for him right now, as I'll have a quick just look at if he's going to end up finishing in 15th. 15th puts him at 303 points. Still 6 points. Armstrong finishing third is 296. 7 points would separate Jeffers and Armstrong for P2 in the championship. Some good racing going on here right now. That's Barker battling it out here with Schwartz. 2 VRD drivers. Ethan Barker has been able to go by Schwartz for P4. So a good run for Ethan Barker. He's had a really good season as well. 7th in points, I don't think shows kind of the pace he's had. If you look over the last number of races, from Mid-Ohio, Road America, and COTA, 7th and 5th at Mid-Ohio, 4th and then a 10th at Road America, but he backed it up with a 7th and a 5th yesterday. Really strong second half of the season for Ethan Barker, now up into P4. Barker in the 12. Schwartz in the 29. Getting chased down here as well by Fakuri in the number 17. Leader, though, Jimmy Lockhart. I'm telling you, when you're a young driver like this, you got to keep digging. You never know when you're going to get the opportunity. I said that he's been there. He's shown well at every race. There's been a top 5 result, at least a top 5 result at every one of the venues on the season so far for Jimmy Lockhart. And again, you know, we look to see those drivers get that first big win. Lockhart, who lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, driving for VRD Racing, Yacht Next on the lineup as the sponsor of that race car. And Lockhart, again, is a driver who has, again, just the consistency's not been there. He's just had some ups and downs, a little bit of mistakes here and there, or even just in the middle of big racing, right? You can get contact, whatever it may be. but he's been there at all the events. And I think one of the keys was he was the one driver that kind of was able to step up and battle into the top 3 of D-Force at Barber Motorsports Park, that event that we had alongside the NTT IndyCar Series. D-Force really dominated the action all weekend long, but it was Jimmy Lockhart that was able to get in there and steal away a podium finish after they had locked out race number 1. So for Lockhart here, he's been digging, and I keep saying every driver's coming in with that different focus. Is this the day for Lockhart? Because the laps are winding down indeed. Lap 10 in the books, just 2 more to go for Lockhart. Quinn Armstrong able to get by Joey Brienza, so Armstrong back into second. That's going to help out in the championship as well. There's going to be a fight right now for second place in the championship. As they run on the racetrack, or off the racetrack, and indeed, I believe 15th for Jeffers. He'll have 303 points. Armstrong finishing in second would put him at 299. 4-point difference between first and second in the championship. It's going to be a head-to-head battle between Jack Jeffers and Quinn Armstrong in race number 2 to see who ends up finishing as the runner-up in the championship behind Nicholas Giafoni. 1.4 second the lead for Jimmy Lockhart, so not only is he going to potentially get that first win, he's going to do it in style. The Aussie, Armstrong, right there with him. And then Brienza. A good recovery for Joey Brienza. His last third-place finish was the opening round of the triple header at Road America, so for him to be able to get back here potentially onto the podium would be big. And, of course, giving him the momentum to do it again in race number 3 this afternoon. So great runs for a number of drivers here. Indeed, looking at maybe the best drive. What we got for the top finish for a driver making a debut here this weekend? Aiden Potter running in the 11th spot on debut. Of course, we know that Connor Roberts, Dane Scott, and Bianca Bustamante always struggles early. Connor Roberts, back on track. The DC Autosport drivers getting them back on. Look at this scrap here. Carson Edder's been able to get out in front of Golan and Fakuri. Carson Edder potentially up into 6th as the 2 drivers for D-Force scrapping it out. That is Golan and Fakuri going at it. Eric Schouten right there as well. So that is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, I think. That might be Giafoni in there. Giafoni the disruptor, I think. It's not just the 2 D-Force drivers, Fakuri and Golan. That means Edder would be up to 7th, I believe. That's Giafoni scrapping back for more. Wow. All right, white flag flying. Lockhart, Armstrong, Brienza, Barker and Schwartz. Fakuri still in 6th. Edder now up into 7th. Giafoni 8th. Golan and Schouten top 10. Here goes Schouten to the inside, going to send it up the bottom of Gold and try to get that spot done. Gold's going to roll more speed down the hill. They'll be side by side. And that'll be Giafoni trying to see if he can't reel in Edder on this final circuit. This is Schouten battling it out with Brady Golan. These 2 drivers have been like this all season long. For 5 months at every race, these guys have been going at it. Schouten's had some flashes of brilliance where he's been a little bit further forward, of course. A 4th place finish and a 6th place finish at Road America, where Golan ended up finishing 7th, 8th, and 10th at that event. But they've really been racing together a lot. Carson Edder stepped up his game over the season to race with them as well, but he's out front of them right now, potentially trying to hold off Giafoni for 7th. This would be the best finish, I believe, of the year for Carson Edder. No, he got a 7th at VIR as well with a last lap pass, and then a 6th at Road America. So another top 10 for Carson Edder, potentially. Final lap, though, for this driver. Let's put the spotlight on Jimmy Lockhart, the Florida pilot, running 3rd, put the pressure on. Contact between Jeffers and Giafoni in this corner right here, and it has allowed him to pull away. He's got a good lead right now, 1.3 on Quinn Armstrong. Joey Brienza potentially back. There's the pass right there for 7th. Giafoni able to get by Edder. Carson Edder's got to see if he can't get it back for an 8th place finish because he's got 9th and 10th right there. Golan and Schouten. We are not done. Oh, big move to the inside. Edder thinking about it. Don't give up the exit speed because here comes Golan. Exactly that. Back on the defense. Golan looking to the inside. Man, they're coming back to 19. Here comes the leader, though. And it will be the first victory in USF Juniors competition here at COTA. The winner is Jimmy Lockhart. He finally wins here in 2023. That's a COTA victory for the VRD driver. Lockhart winning by 1.3 seconds. Quinn Armstrong finishing in second. Joey Brienza strong third. Hudson Schwartz and Ethan Barker fourth and fifth. Sixth is Lucas Ficuri. Seventh, Nicholas Giaffoni. Eighth, Carson Eder. Ninth, Brady Golan. And 10th is Eric Schouten. Wow. Mid-race action for sure. Giaffoni had gone to the lead on Jeffers. Jeffers forces the issue over in turn number 13. That sends him to the garage with damage. It sends Giaffoni back. He fights his way up to seventh. A seventh place finish will be where he gets out of the car as the champion back in the paddock. Lockhart, Armstrong, and Brienza onto the podium. VRD, D-Force, and Exclusive. 3 teams on the podium. 3 different drivers. And I think most importantly, first win for Jimmy Lockhart. I'm sure he is cruising around enjoying himself right now. Lockhart with the win. And what a day it's been so far for VRD. They get a victory with Nikita Johnson in USF Pro 2000. And Jimmy Lockhart backs it up here as well with his first win of the season, too. Great job for Lockhart, Armstrong, and Brienza on the podium. Folks, we're going to head to that Victory Lane celebrations. Don't go anywhere. We'll stay with the stream, run a couple of commercials. When we get back, we'll do some celebrating. One more race still to come, 3:55 this afternoon, green flag. I expect we'll start the broadcast right around 3:45. Don't go anywhere. Victory Lane celebrations. Let's have an interview with Jimmy Lockhart coming up next. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're set to go here in Victory Lane right now to celebrate our accomplished drivers here in race number 2 of the Cooper Tire Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. And again, what a race this was. The number of drivers getting themselves up in crucial positions for the championship battle for sure. Finishing in 3rd spot here today in USF Juniors race number 2 from Exclusive Autosport, Joey Brienza. Bring Joey out here to P3 to present him with the trophy. One of our guests from Discount Tires, Rito Sanchez. Rito, hop right up there with him. We'll get a shot with you there. Again, Joey Brienza, fantastic run here. He battling it out with Quinn Armstrong. Great job there. Across the track, there we go. Rito, thank you very much. Finishing in 2nd, and this is where things get exciting. Jack Jeffers with an issue, the contact put him behind the wall, and that has made this battle for 2nd tighten up. It's going to be 4 points going into race number 3, I believe. So the driver coming home in 2nd closed it up from D-Force Racing, P2, Quinn Armstrong. Big finish for P2 to close it up with the championship. Who's going to be the runner-up? We'll see in race number 3. Ruben Sanchez, one of our guests from Discount Tire, will bring that trophy out here to Quinn Armstrong, back on the podium once again, and again closing up the championship battle in a big way. One more spot on the podium. We always love to celebrate the first victory for a young driver. This one's been digging. I mentioned in the broadcast, top 5 at every venue we've been at throughout the year. So he's always been there, but waiting for that first big victory. It's come here today in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The winner today in USF Juniors, Jimmy Lockhart. Jimmy, hop up here. Let's have a chat. How good is it to finally get this victory?
Oh, Rob, you know how good it feels. I've been waiting all year to stand on top of this podium, and it feels amazing.
The car's been good all weekend long. Let's talk about that. You've been right in the middle of the fight. This time, you weren't involved in something. You were the one that kind of, I think, maybe forced the issue to a certain extent.
We're able to get in that car, and I was just holding back, trying to save tires and wait for them to battle and me to be able to capitalize on it. They ended up taking each other out, and I was able to stay up front and run away with it.
You've been digging here long. How did it feel coming across the line to get that flag?
Oh,
Who do you want to thank today?
Really just the whole team, Jacob Loomis, Dan Mitchell, and all my mechanics, coaches, Noah, everyone really just been able to help me, and my family supporting me. It's just great.
Congratulations. Let's bring that first place trophy to be Lockhart. Well deserved for sure. On out, Perez, let's bring that trophy out here, please. Thank you very much. And again, Jimmy, like he says, been waiting for that victory. It's been long coming throughout the season. Big day so far for VRD Racing as well. They already won with Nikita Johnson, and now a victory here with Jimmy Lockhart as well. We'll enjoy the celebration here. We've still got one other driver to talk to here before it's all said and done. Phony waiting in the sidelines, as we'll have an opportunity to crown him as the champion for this year's USF Juniors program. Again, 3 different teams on the podium here. Of course, again showing the quality of the fantastic teams we have in this U.S. program. Always great to see a driver get that first victory for sure, and Jimmy's going to be able to savor this one, but not for long. Couple hours, and we're back at it again. We'll see if he's able to get race win number 2. Bring that champagne in here pretty soon. First, a discount tire. So again, the opportunity for the champagne coming in. Again, these drivers will be back on the racetrack. A little bit of a celebration, though, here. One more race to knock it out. Champagne is here. Hats down, boys. Grip it and rip it. Let's have some fun here. It's a champagne. As he is the winner today in U.S. Juniors. Strong second. Joey Brienza in third. Looking forward to getting out and very. As again, 3:55 scheduled green flag time. Not done here yet. This particular podium, because we have one more driver. We have crowned ourselves champion. We'll get here moment. Trophy here. We're going to bring some people in. Let me hop back underneath here in the right spot. So, ladies and gentlemen, time to spend a little focus time here on the driver who was able to get it done here in the championship. What a season it's been. He's been strong throughout the year, never really lifted off the throttle, and had a great run yesterday to third. He's able to cap it off today. How about a round of applause, folks? Our new champion in USF Juniors, Nicholas Giaffoni. Nicholas, I'll come and chat with you first. Man, it's done. You are the champion. You're going USF 2000 next year. How does it feel?
Amazing. I can't even put to words right now what I'm feeling. It's been an amazing season. I mean, I didn't even see it pass, to be honest. I was so focused on the next event, the next race, and the next race that I couldn't realize the amazing job we were doing. I had to thank D-Force. They gave me a competitive car every single weekend, and because of them, I'm here. I mean, I've been saying this a lot, and I say it again. A driver is just a driver. We can't do anything without a good team, a good car, and they have given me the opportunity to race in a very competitive car, so I thank them. Also, thank my family for the support, as always. I mean, I'm not the easiest guy to come with in the race weekend, but they helped me, and I have to thank them a lot. And of course, thank my sponsors for this amazing season. They have made it possible, and I'm super, super happy to be here. I can't even express that much.
Well, he's got lots of first place trophies. Let's bring another trophy here right now. It's the championship trophy coming out right now. I'm alone from Michelle Kish from. This is it, folks. This is the championship for the driver here in USF Juniors. The scholarship brought to you by Discount Tire, $241,000 plus. And a Brazilian has won once again here in the championship. Nick Giaffoni with the title. Giaffoni as he's going to enjoy himself. Thank you. Screen right now in this fantastic series, and we'll see him